man. Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. Do us. So we are coming with a force. Yeah, blessing the reap and we coursing on.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and we are back to talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey, season 13, episode 4, Housewarming history lesson. Okay, y'all. Teresa is very dumb. Yeah. I ain't never seen such an empty-head individual in my life. It's very unbelievable. It's almost astonishing. But anyway, let's get into the episode. So the episode starts off where all the guys are arriving home drunk as a skunk child, and the ladies are recording them coming in with the hangover of centuries, okay? The one guy, one of the new guys, he seemed to be the one that was the most wasted. Joe, other Joe, Margaret's Joe, he talking about he won't get it in, but he is in the bed, knocked out. And y'all, Evan, that is one handsome white man. I got to tell you that. I've never really been attracted to white men, but Evan, I might have been in the bathroom with him. Yeah, that might have been me. Anyway, moving on. So all the guys come home. So Teresa is moving furniture around, and her and Louis end up talking about the night before. So Louis tells her, listen, I brought up she said, how was it with my brother? And he said, well, I ended up bringing up the night before, when I ended up bringing up what happened on the podcast, what they said on the podcast. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that you have to go through all of this. What is Louis going through? Louis wasn't there. Louis wasn't the one that had to deal with all of the turmoil of what happened with your ex-husband, Joe. Here's the reality of all of that stuff with Joe and Teresa. Joe Giudice and Teresa going through all of that. Teresa wanted a certain status in life. She wanted to always look like she had the glitz and the glam. Now, did Joe go about getting it the right way? No. But he was doing what he thought a man should do, trying to do whatever he could to get the money to live up to his wife's standards, okay? And doing that got them both into deep doo-doo, okay? And they both went ahead and dealt with their consequences accordingly. Now, throughout this process, and this is where we go into Joe and Melissa talking, Melissa comes over to the new house that they're building. Joe is, and they're talking about the night before. Now, I'm like, why y'all just now talking about the night before? And he at work. Did y'all not see each other last night? But I guess that's just the way it go. You want to talk about it the next day, child. So, Joe was like, yeah, ended up yelling and getting upset. I'm just so over all of this stuff. I just can't believe that, they just keep on ragging on us about that podcast. Like, we didn't say anything bad. And Melissa was like, when we said food on the table, we were basically saying we helped them to film because no money was coming in. Basically, around that time when Teresa went to prison, they were not making any money. They weren't allowed to do anything. So this show was really the only thing that really brought revenue into their household. And let me tell y'all something. I am so over Teresa talking to her children about all this stuff that's going on in her life. Like, her children, I'm glad she got a real therapist, because Gia and the other girls, Melania and the other girl that was mute for the longest time, and now she finally talking. Gabriella, I don't understand why she's talking to her children. One thing I can say about Joe and Melissa, you have never seen them trashing Teresa or them kids, or even Joe Giudice in front of their children. I know I meant to point out in the last episode when Antonia and one of the boys and Gino was sitting at the table, they sent them away when they started talking about the mother-in-law and the sisters not being invited to the wedding and all that stuff, and all the stuff that they were upset about with Teresa. And I commend them for that, because at the end of the day, you have to be grown adults and keep a child in a child's place. Now, is Gia an adult now? Yeah. But should she be in the midst of all of this drama within the family? No. And I feel like, and here's another thing. If Joe really wasn't there for Teresa and her family, now mind you, Joe Giudice needed them to film with him. And this was around the time where they had gotten rid of the twins that was on the show, or there were some twins on there. Siggy, little crazy behind, was on the show. They had really gotten rid of a whole lot of people that were on the show, and they kept Margaret. And was Margaret on the show with Siggy? I think she was. They kept Dolores, Melissa, and Margaret. Okay? So they had clean house at this point. So Teresa is in prison. So what are they going to do to make money? The season says we're going to skip. And I know Bravo didn't want to do the show without Teresa on it, because they didn't know how the show was going to go. So they did this Teresa checks in special with Joe and the kids. And so Joe Gorga and his family came over, filmed with them, and I'm pretty sure they were helping out with the kids. Everybody was all hands on deck with those kids. So it really irritates me that Teresa's other daughter that never really talked before, now she talking, is saying, just kind of like ad-libbing on, oh, they weren't there for us and all this, that, and the third. That really bothers me, because it's not true. I don't believe it's true. Let me say that in my opinion. Let me tell y'all something. If Joe wasn't there for Teresa, believe you me, she would not have let that man live it down ever. Ever. Okay? The day that she walked into that house from coming home from jail, he would have been all types of nothing a-holes and all this, that, and the third. Please believe that. So then they have this part where she calls Joe on the phone to invite him to the housewarming party or whatever. And Joe at this point is just like, you know what? I'm really not into it. I'm not really trying to be doing any of that. But she asked him, and she was like, first of all, Louis had to write out what to say for her to say. How slow are you? Like, Teresa doesn't even know how to form a sentence on her own. Like, she went into that call sounding negative already. Like, I don't even really want to be talking to him. Like, it just seemed like she wants to have some friction going on with him. And I just don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, she wants to keep on rehashing old stuff. And it's like, girl, get over it. I am so sick and tired of her loyalty meter. Like, her loyalty to her means you gotta constantly kiss her behind and kiss the ring. But she don't never have to do nothing to be loyal to you. When has Teresa ever stood up for her brother or Melissa? It's really weird to me that she expects everybody to kiss her ass, but she's never there for anybody else. Only person I've ever seen her stick up for on this show is Jennifer. Every time Jennifer gets in the middle of something, she's like, well, she didn't really mean it like that. She doesn't mean it. No, she does. She absolutely does. But that's because Jennifer is her main minion. So, she gonna do whatever to stick up for daggone Jennifer. But you ain't gonna stick up for your own brother? And you called him a bitch boy on national TV? Like, you allowed your friend to do that. And you still kicking it with her to this day. No one would ever disrespect my brother like that on national TV and still call themselves my friend. Absolutely not. But, I don't know if Joe is going to come to the engagement party or not. I feel like Louis is trying to be the voice of reason in all of this. Like, Louis said to her, yeah, and Joe was upset that you didn't invite his family to the party or whatever. And she's like, why would I invite them? And I didn't even invite Melissa to be one of my bridesmaids. And I'm like, girl, you know that Joe's mother-in-law was sitting up there, was in there, you know, hanging out with your father. Like, you even introduced, by the way, while you talking about Louis's family, you introduced Louis to Melissa's family, because you ain't cool with nobody in your family. But you ain't invite them to your wedding? You ain't rocking with them? It's like Teresa wants to use people for whatever is convenient for her. And it's just really extremely messed up. Then her counter was, well, they didn't invite your family to Antonia's Sweet 16. Child, don't nobody know his family. You don't even know his family. You stop playing with us. Stop playing. And his family don't want to come to no damn Sweet 16 party. That is so different from a wedding. How dumb is this bird, y'all? I can't with Teresa. I flag on the play. I can't. So now we have Dolores. She's sitting down with her mom, and she's realizing that her mother is just going to eat whatever she want to eat, child, okay? She's like, Mom, you finally got your pool. I guess Dolores has a pool now. So the mother is happy about that. Frankie is there, her son, and they're having a conversation about Frank and Paulie. So Frankie is just like, listen, you know, Dad wants to get along with Paulie. I just, you know, I think he really wants to have the same relationship that he had with David. And here's my thing. Paulie and Frank don't have to be the best of friends. Y'all are divorced. Y'all have been divorced for a very long time. Frank, according to Dolores, was a terrible husband. You out here dicking around and doing whatever you want to do. And Frank, you have a girlfriend. You don't need to be bros with Paulie. Okay? Paulie is not trying to be your bestie. He is focused on Dolores, not you. You living up in David's house and y'all are the best of friends. It's like you got David out of the relationship with Dolores. You getting more out of him than Dolores was emotionally. So Dolores is putting herself first, and I'm proud of her. I'm glad that she's doing it. She's like, listen, I've been thinking about other people for the last 26 years of my life. I'm gonna go ahead and head on out of that. I'm worried about me and my satisfaction, okay? And that's what I need, my sexual healing, and I'm gonna go ahead and keep on getting it and not worry about what everybody else doing. All right, y'all mind your business. That's all. Just mind your business. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Me and Paulie are good. We don't need no tag-alongs, no third wheels. Frank, go over there with your girlfriend and do you. I'm living my best life, okay? Moving on. Jennifer is such a parasite. Bill, I could see it in his face that he is so frustrated with her. I could see them getting I don't want to, listen, I don't never want to speak bad over anybody's marriage, but I could see him divorcing her or cheating on her again, because Jennifer is just a hard pill to swallow. Basically, she's having a conversation with him about the kid. One of their kids is graduate. Bill said to her that their oldest son that's graduating from high school is going to the prom or whatever. And he doesn't think that she needed to spend all this money on a party bus. And she's like, well, you got a Ferrari and nobody said anything. Well, this man is out here working. And if it's in the budget, then do it. Just like you find it in the budget to do whatever for the kids. And I'm tired of her using the fact that he cheated on her 10 years ago as an excuse for her to do whatever she want for the kids, or do whatever and say whatever she want to him. Girl, you forgave him 10 years ago. Okay? So-called. You really didn't forgive him. Because if it's really jumping in your spirit, it's sizzling in your spirit like this still, you need to get some help. You need to get some professional help on how to forgive and to move on with stuff. Because if you're never going to forgive this man and you're going to hold this over his head forever, he might as well leave you alone. Because this is going to be a miserable ride for him forever. Okay? And then nobody signed up for that. Your kids don't have nothing to do with Bill cheating on you, might I add. You need to keep a kid. You another one that need to keep your kids in a kid's place. Them kids ain't thinking about that no more. Their parents are still together. Y'all still in the household together. So why would your kids be so distraught over that? And if they're still distraught over that, get them some therapy too. Stop using this as an excuse for you to continue to be a bitch. That's what it is. Stop being a nasty little bitch to your husband, because that's what you're doing. And you, my friend, are one of those women that's going to be sitting up here looking real stupid because he divorcing your tail. And Bill is one of the ones that I would probably cheer him on if he did. Because then you're going to sit up there and say, and then why do you always have to, give me another side of things? Why can't you just be there for me? I feel like you take me for granted. Now, do I think Bill takes Jennifer for granted? Maybe, because she does a lot around the house. She takes care of their children. I don't really see him giving her any pushback for the stuff that she does for the kids and whatnot. So, I don't know. But I don't know if he really is taking her for granted, to be honest. Like, she's living off the fruits of his labor. Yes, she's getting a check from this show, which is amazing. But girl, basically, and Bill said it very plain. He said, so what you want me to do? You just want me to agree with you every time? She's like, yeah, because at the house with Dolores, you always try to get me to see the other side. Maybe because your ass is always wrong. How about that? You're always wrong. You always talking shit and you're dumb. You say things that don't make sense. You want everybody to agree with you, but what you're saying makes no sense. You want everybody to be on your side and kiss your ass, and it doesn't. You are Teresa 2.0. That's what you are. Both of y'all are dumb as a box of rocks. Your hairline just a little further back than hers. Her hairline on her eyebrows and she talking shit, and your hairline all the way back here and your nose is fucked up and you talking shit. I'm sick of both of y'all. How about that? Bill, divorce this bitch. Cancel this bitch. Buy a new one. Moving on. So now we have Jennifer Fessler and Danielle meeting for lunch, okay? So basically, Jen, with the weird nose, is up here talking crap about Dolores to Danielle and talking crap about Margaret to Jen. Jennifer don't have nothing to do. She has absolutely nothing to do. Like, when she ain't taking care of them children while they at school or feeding them too much food because they might need to run around the track a little bit, I don't know what she's doing. Talking crap, talking trash. That's all she has time to do. Like, she really needs to get a hobby and something that's going to benefit her life, because this road that she going down right now, it's really sad. Like, she is very sad. So she tells Danielle that, so basically she asks Danielle at what's the other girl, the other new girl, whatever her name is, the other new girl's mozzarella party. She asked Danielle if she got a nose job. Danielle says, yeah, I got a nose job. She's like, oh, do you like it? Whatever, and blah, blah, blah. Is it still healing? Blah, blah, blah. And she was like, why is it swollen? And so then Jen calls her afterwards, and she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I hope I didn't offend you. Like, I got a nose job, and I'm not really happy with it, so I may have been projecting a little bit. Then she proceeds to start talking about Dolores. So Danielle is like, girl, you know that's my homegirl, right? Like, I'm besties with her ex-husband's girlfriend. Like, I've known Dolores for over 10 years. Like, what are you doing right now? So Danielle was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and head on out of this conversation, because you doing a lot, and I don't want to do none of it. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna talk to you never. So she gets off the phone with her, and I think Jen I feel like Jen probably was offended, because she's trying to get the new girls on her side. She already got the other one slightly, because she came over her house and was so impressed. And I'm like, girl, all of that house ain't nothing but an extra bill, child. Your house is beautiful too. And your kids are happy. Your husband is happy. That's all that matters. You don't need to be worrying about all that extra BS. Because Jen got a big ass house and a big ass attitude and nothing going on. Okay? She is unhappy. So then she calls Jennifer Fessler. And she's, apparently they talked about therapy, like how her and her husband went to therapy or whatever, and she's like a real proponent for therapy, just like Teresa is happy she's going to therapy too. So Jennifer was like, oh, you know what, I want to, Jen was like, oh, I want to go to therapy too. You know, me and my husband need it, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, Margaret. So she starts talking about Margaret to Jennifer Fessler. And Jennifer is like, whoa. So I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to get me to switch sides. And you don't know Margaret. Margaret, yeah, she ain't nobody to play. I've been friends with Margaret forever. Okay, you ain't about to have me flip-flopping on my friend. That's not what I do. I don't know who you've been chopping it up with, but that's not what I do. So Jennifer Fessler was like, man, this girl got some big balls to be trying to do that. She's like, I don't play like that. But one thing I did like about Jennifer Fessler, she talked about how she used to weigh 223 pounds and she ordered her pizza. Now, if y'all ever get to meet me in person and we go out to eat, your girl likes to eat, okay? So I'm going to get all my food, and I'm going to eat all my food. Because Jennifer ordered a pizza, and Danielle was like, oh, that sounds good. You want to split that? And Danielle and her itty-bitty body, she don't know nothing. So Jennifer was like, no, I don't want to share. You know, not like that. It's just, I want to eat all my food. Love her. She is top tier on my list because I loves me a woman that loves to eat her food, child. I love it. And I want to go out to lunch with Jennifer, okay? Because she going to eat her food and not share with me because I ain't going to share nothing with her either. Moving on. So in the next scene, we have Marge and Dolores go to this cute little shop with candles and all this stuff, and they're talking about the party that they're going to at Teresa's house. So then Melissa calls on the phone. So Melissa is talking, and she's saying Joe is really upset. Like, he's not going to go to the party. Like, part of me really wants him to go because I just really want him to hear Teresa out. He's really upset that she didn't invite my mother and my sisters, and like they have been like really there for her and you know, pillars of our family. Like, I just can't believe that she did that. And even Dolores was just, and Margaret, they both were like, yeah, that's really messed up that she didn't invite them to the wedding. That's just cold. So they're having a conversation about that. So we'll see how this party goes because Joe done said he ain't gonna go, and Melissa obviously is going to go. So we'll see how this pans out. Child, I totally messed up the homegirl's name. Just insert wherever I said Danielle is Rachel. Danielle, the one with the blonde hair. Rachel, the one with the black hair. Rachel was at the table with Jennifer Fessler. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Child, so Melissa getting her makeup done, and Joe said, I ain't going. I done told my sister, I ain't going. I can't be fake. I don't want to be fake. I ain't going, okay? And Teresa is at her party. They're getting all set up. And the girls, again, are coming in and, you know, getting all in the BI. So Melania comes over, Gabriella, and Gia. And they're all getting ready and standing around waiting for the guests to come. And she tells them that Joe texted. They said, who's all coming? And she said, well, my brother isn't coming. He missed my 50th birthday. He's missing this. He missed the engagement party. Like, you know, it's a lot. Like, he's just missing a lot of milestones in my life. Girl, she doesn't think about what she's doing. I wouldn't want to be around you being fake either. I'm just going to let you know right now. Like, if I was Joe, I wouldn't want to go either. Now, honestly, should he have gone to this? I would have went if I was him. Sometimes being the bigger person is a bigger weight on you. But in this situation, you got to make her look silly. I would have went. I really would have went. I know that y'all are tired of being the bigger person, but I wouldn't have sent my wife to go there and be in the lion's den by herself. That's really what I wouldn't have done. I would have gone if I was Joe, because you just had that conversation with Louis. You just had this whole blow up and whatnot. Just go. Just be the bigger person. You ain't got to go to every event. When she starts talking trash, just leave, ignore her and all of that. Y'all got to be the bigger person in those moments. Don't dive into the arguments with her, because that's what allows her to win. So then we're at the party. Everybody's arriving. Of course, people bringing gifts, and Jennifer got to bring a damn menorah, a tree of life with everybody's family in it. All the people from her blended family, to keep the girls, Teresa and Louie. Okay, girl, whatever. So then Margaret is talking to Dolores and Jackie, okay? And she's basically telling her, so Jen apparently called Jennifer Fessler and was talking trash about me or whatever. Like, did you really think that my friend wasn't going to tell me? Yeah, because Jen Fessler is a real friend. So she's definitely going to tell Marge what you did, okay? And then she's like, you know, Margaret was talking about how Jennifer was saying that Margaret is jealous of her. First of all, Jennifer really wants somebody to be jealous of her. She thinks because she got a big house and her husband got all these cars and they got money, money don't make you happy. Okay? It really doesn't. Because clearly you are over there sitting on miserable, man. Margaret looks happier than all of y'all, honestly. So, really, to be totally honest, stop with the jealous stuff. Nobody's jealous of you, sis. We're really not. I'm not jealous of you, and I'm watching you on TV. Like, I would never want to be you. Because you are a miserable twit. I would not want to be Jennifer at all. She is so annoying. Like, I can't even stand it. So Margaret was like, what do I want to be, 55 in the carpool line? Like, girl, bye. So Margaret, and Jennifer always wants to try to attack Margaret because I guess she don't have a whole bunch of kids like her or whatever. But it's like, girl, don't shame somebody because they don't have children. Having a bunch of kids is not what makes you a woman. Margaret is running a successful business. She's married. She's living in her house. She's living her life. She's doing her and minding her business while she does it. So you need to take a page out of her book and mind your business. And stop worrying about everybody. And ain't nobody jealous of you, girl. Go and sit down somewhere. Bye. So the ladies are standing around, Rachel, Dolores, Margaret, and they're all talking. And Rachel brings up that Frank feels kind of, you know, she's like, why isn't Frank here or whatever? And Dolores says, oh, Frank has something to do or whatever. Him and his girlfriend won't be here. So Rachel brings up, she said, well, Frank kind of feels kind of left out. Like he feels like, you know, he misses you or whatever. And Dolores basically says, listen, people be thinking me and Frank are together. Like, we are not together. It is just, I've been doing for everybody else for 52 years of my life. I'm going to go ahead and do what I want to do now. So, listen, I'm unapologetically doing me. And Frank just going to have to get on the bandwagon. Period. Poo. Okay? So, moving on. This really broke my heart. I almost wanted to cry watching Melissa. Like, I could feel the nervousness inside of her when she was talking to Gabriella and Gia. And I could see Gia is more mature than her sisters and her mama. Because Gia kind of gave Gabriella like a look like, oh God, please don't be rude to this lady. She's over here literally pouring her heart out to us slightly. Like, just be nice. And Gabriella's like, oh, I have finals in the morning, and so I'm not going to be down here very long. I'm going to go study. Like, basically, she had no interest in talking to Melissa whatsoever. Like, she's just going along with whatever her mother is telling her to do and however her mother is telling her to feel. So, I just feel like they've been so brainwashed by Teresa and her stupidity that it's just really sad. It really is sad. And I hate it. I hate to see it. Melissa looked so sad. She started talking about her kids and how they miss them. And, you know, she was like in her confessional how the kids always, you know, even Gia mentioned it. She said it's just, you know, yeah, we haven't seen them in a while. Like, and I think Teresa mentioned that she wanted Melissa to bring the kids so that they can see each other. And it's just really sad. It's really messed up. And apparently they haven't seen each other in 6 months. It's crazy. So then Teresa gets up here and makes a whole spectacle. Louie is doing the blanket thank you for everybody coming here. But of course, Teresa has to throw a jab. And later on, she going to act like the dummy that she is and pretend like, oh, I wasn't throwing a jab. I wasn't doing that. Yes, the F you were. Okay? Her and her dingleberry brain irritates my whole entire existence. She gets up there and says, you are a chosen family. And then also, before they even got their asses up there, she said something about Louis' sister, saying, oh, now I have sisters. But you already had a sister. Melissa was your sister-in-law. Just like these birds are your sister-in-laws. You probably don't even know their middle names. Girl, Teresa, you are just full of, you full of it. I'm so sick and tired of her. I don't know why they put so much stock in her. It's ridiculous. So she gets up there, knowing her brother is not there, and says, everybody's here is our chosen family. You are our people. We wouldn't want anybody else here that's not here. Like, you just sitting up here throwing jabs at this man. So, like, Melissa obviously gets upset. She's like, dang, like, I'm here to support you. You just keep on throwing me down. Like, I'm trying to be here. I'm trying to be supportive. And you just talking trash about my brother, your brother, my husband. Like, and I can see it in Melissa's face, but she's just tired of it. And it's too much. It's too much to put on people to be dealing with that. So she immediately breaks down and she puts her food down, whole plate of food, child. And that food looked good at that party, by the way, because Danielle, she wanted to bring some Tupperware and take some home. And honey, I would have been right on with you. We could have been the two looking ghetto, taking the food on out of here. They don't need all this food. They gonna have leftovers. They rich. They don't need it. So I take this home. I'd have did it with you, Danielle. But moving on. Melissa looked so sad and she went in the bathroom and just started crying. And Margaret could see that Melissa was hurting. And I just think that this is just all so blown out of proportion. Like, Teresa needs to let the past go and let the power and control over her family that she craves so much to be over. Like, she needs to let it go. You can't control people in your life. You can't control and puppeteer everybody around you and make everybody do whatever you say. It's just not fair and it's just not right. By the way, I do want to bring up, I love how Bill said, we miss you, Joe, when Teresa was trying to be a bitch, talking about my chosen family, everybody that we wanted to be here. Kudos to Bill. I like me some Bill. He on to something, and he's shady. So in the last scene, Melissa tells Jackie that she confesses to her. She's like, well, I just got to tell you, I did tell Danielle that you said that her shorts came out of the hamper. And Jackie says, yeah, and she wore them 2 weeks in a row. I don't care that you said that. So then Danielle comes over and she says, okay, so I hear my name. So what's up with my outfit today? You got a problem? And so Jackie was like, no, you look nice today. I'm like, Jackie, the jealousy is just really coming up out of you. Like, girl, this ain't the road to go down. This not what you want to do. So Danielle was basically like, girl, you are just so ridiculous. Like, who died and told you that you was the outfit person? Like, and it's not like Jackie be wearing things that is looking like the bomb. Like, you be looking like a plain Jane, sis. So don't try to play Danielle. So Danielle was moving, talking with her hands. And Jackie was like, I need you to get your hands out of my face. And she was like, girl, let me tell you something real quick. Danielle says to Jackie, if I wanted to do something to you, it'd have been done. Don't worry about my hands. Don't worry about these, sweetheart, because they ain't doing nothing. If they wanted to do something, you from Staten Island, you know, or I'm from Staten Island, you know, I did that, okay? But Jackie is just so lost in the sauce. And Danielle was like, you know what, whatever. This broad is just, she big mad because she a friend. Moving on. So all the ladies are standing around and Margaret says to Jackie, she's like, girl, don't be talking to, because Jennifer Aiden is standing there. And she's like, girl, don't be talking to her because she was over here starting stuff, okay, like she always do. She was talking about you, girl, talking about you stuck up and all this stuff. And Jackie was like, yeah, I can be a little stuck up sometimes, so what? And so then Marge was like, well, she was over there talking about me or whatever. And mind you, Jennifer Aiden is like standing right there. And she was like, yeah, because she was over there talking to my friend Jennifer Fessler, talking about me like she wasn't going to come back and tell me, ha! Who tried it? My friend came back and told me everything you said with your little botch nose job. Get out of here. So then Rachel comes over and then Rachel was like, yeah, because you was calling me talking trash about Dolores. And Jennifer was like, no, let me pause you. I called you to talk about your trash nose job because I didn't like my bad nose job. And, your nose job looks terrible. So I was really feeling bad about it. First of all, Rachel didn't say that she thinks her nose job was bad. So you try to do a little dig right there. That's what you try to do in your brown doo-doo brown dress. I know you tried it, okay? You standing over here looking like a turd in ruffles. Girl, Jennifer, get out of here in this ponytail. And you, girl. Because it looked like just because your nose looked like Play-Doh, don't be messing with Rachel. Now, Rachel do look a little pointy. She do look like Cindy Lou. She looking kind of like Candace in the nose. Her and Candace could have almost the same nose. Candace got a little bit more flesh on the sides. But listen. Whoville got a lot of characters on the Housewives. That's what I'm saying. Moving on. So, Teresa brings her eyebrows and hairline over there and starts talking. And she's like, well, Rachel, I know one thing about Jennifer. She would never want you to pick sides. Teresa, what the fuck are you talking about? That don't have nothing to do with what they're talking about. Girl, go serve some pasta with your empty head ass. Girl, bye. What are you talking about? You don't even make no damn sense right now, child. Teresa and her dumb ass, she gets on my nerves. Moving on. And what you talking about picking some damn sides? Ain't nobody trying. So basically, you know that Jennifer was over there trying to recruit. That's what I got out of that. Okay? Moving on. So Rachel basically tells Jennifer, I know you fucking lying. What you not about to do is be talking to me like that. So don't let the skinniness fool you. Because I will you up in here. Okay? Don't play with me. All right? She said, you know what? Dolores, she was over there talking about you. She was talking about you. And I told her I ain't want to be no part of it. Okay? And Dolores was like, good for you, Rachel. Good for you. And why you over there talking about me, Jennifer? What you talking about me for? I don't be talking about you and Bill. Like, how did the conversation even get to you talking about me? And that's what I'm saying. If you calling her to apologize about or see if she was feeling some type of way about you saying something about her nose job, how did the conversation pivot into talking about Dolores? She was like, no, I was saying I'm just trying to give you context. Girl, she don't need no context. You need contacts so you can see your bullshit. That's what you need to do. And Bill over there looking like, I just told this bitch at dinner the other night I was going to defend her. Let me act like I don't hear this shit. So I'm like, and why do you want your man to get in the middle of the woman drama anyway? I can see this next episode, Jennifer looking at Bill like he should have came over there and did something. But let me tell you about Rachel's husband, okay? Jennifer called Rachel a fucking idiot. Rachel said, I know you fucking lying. You know what, Teresa? You know what? I'm going to get on out of here because if I stay here any longer, I'm going to whoop this bitch ass, okay? So she's like, thank you for the invite. I'm going to go ahead and head on out. She finds her husband. She's like, husband, it's time to go because I'm going to have to whoop a ass up in here, okay? So he's like, she called you an idiot. You want to go over there and address her? Yeah, because we can put a little stank on it together. You know what I'm saying? Together, not together apart, okay? Because we can do this. Because she don't call my wife, no, an idiot, okay? He was with the shits, okay? He was with the shits. And so Jennifer was like, don't let the door hit you on your way out. Girl, you outside. Ain't no door, bitch. So Rachel says, there is no door. You fucking idiot. I'm like, oh my God. Y'all are just a hot mess. A hot mess, okay? And even Marge had called Jennifer Fessler over, and she's like, why I'm in it? What am I here for? And she even brought up the fact that she was talking trash about her to Jennifer Fessler. And Jen wanted to say, well, she wasn't exactly defending you. Girl, don't try that. Because Jennifer Fessler, maybe she wasn't, in your eyes, defending her. She wasn't saying anything. That's what it seemed like to me. She was like, listen, I ain't gonna say nothing because you not about to say I said shit. Because that's my grandfather always said. He's like, don't say nothing that they can twist your words up and make it their own. Okay? Just be silent. don't even listen. Walk away if you got to, because ain't nobody ever gonna be able to put me in no drama, and I live by that for the rest of my life, okay? For the rest of my days. But thank y'all for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that's watching this craziness on Jersey as well with us. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.